My wife said, "I'm going to my ex's place for Christmas dinner, don't wait up." I just smiled and nodded, "Go ahead." Then I contacted my film crew and sent them to her ex's house to shoot footage for the Happy Family series. That evening, her ex panicked and called me. This was not how I pictured Christmas Eve. I was sitting alone in the living room, half watching the lights on our tree blink while my wife Chloe was in the bedroom putting on makeup like she was getting ready for a date. I didn't think much of it at first until she walked out. Black dress, high heels, hair curled. It was the kind of effort she never bothered with when we were going out together. I stared at her for a second because it didn't match the just staying home tonight energy she'd been giving all week. "Where are you going?" I asked. She didn't even look at me, just grabbed her purse and said flat and cold, "I'm going to Mark's house for Christmas dinner. You handle your own dinner tonight." Mark, her ex. She said it like she was talking about picking up groceries, not casually spending Christmas with another man. I didn't argue, I didn't ask why. I just felt something click into place. "All right," I said, and I even smiled a little. "Go ahead." She seemed almost annoyed that I didn't fight about it. The door closed behind her, and the moment her footsteps faded down the hall, I pulled out my phone. "You can head there now. Just follow what we talked about." A simple instruction. Then I sat back down on the couch. The lights on the tree kept blinking. "I'm Lucas, a cardiothoracic surgeon. The job forces you to notice small things, and that habit follows you home." With Chloe, the change wasn't sudden. It was a slow shift. Chloe started acting distant, short answers, working late, avoiding conversations. Another thing, her phone. She used to leave it lying around. Now she kept it locked and face down all the time. Even when she walked across the room, she took it with her. I tried not to overthink it, but the shift was obvious. Married couples don't need to share everything, but they also don't usually guard their phones like it's classified material. The real turning point happened a week before Christmas. I came home earlier than usual and saw her iPad on the sofa. It was synced to her phone, so notifications popped up on it. Normally, I wouldn't look, but the screen lit up right as I passed by, and the preview was hard to ignore. "I can't stop thinking about you. My wife's visiting her parents this week. Come over and have dinner with me, bae." It was from an unsaved number. I didn't react right away. I just sat down, read the message again, and let the reality settle. There was no misunderstanding. It wasn't work. It wasn't a friend. It was someone who clearly knew her, wanted to see her, and felt comfortable enough to plan a private dinner. I checked the number online, took 5 seconds, the name came up. Mark, her ex. He was married. Over the next few days, more messages popped up on the iPad. Time, the address, and instructions for getting in. I didn't reply, obviously. I just took screenshots of everything and let them keep digging their own hole. I didn't confront her. A direct fight never ends well, and I've seen enough chaos in my life. I needed facts, solid ones, something she couldn't twist or deny. In medicine, you don't operate without full imaging. Same thing here. My next step wasn't emotional. It was practical. I needed undeniable evidence, something simple, straightforward, and clean. She thought she was hiding it well, but the truth was already out. I just had to document it. That's when the entire plan started forming. Once I accepted what Chloe was doing, the rest was logistics. I'm used to making plans in high-pressure situations, so putting together a straightforward setup wasn't difficult. I didn't want drama, screaming, or the usual chaos people expect in these situations. I just wanted the truth recorded in a way she couldn't run from. A week before Christmas, I contacted a small TikTok film crew I'd used once for a charity project. They specialize in short feel-good videos, surprise visits, small gifts, emotional moments. Nothing complicated. I told them I wanted to surprise my wife with a Christmas segment called Unexpected Holiday Joy. They loved the idea. They offered to bring lights, microphones, and 2 cameras. I booked them for Christmas Eve. They were free, so it worked out. I gave them the address. Not mine. The short-term rental address Mark had sent her. I told them to knock lightly, introduce themselves as a holiday surprise crew, and record everything from the hallway. No entering, no stepping past the door, and treat it like a pre-arranged Christmas surprise. To them, this was normal. They've done plenty of surprise shoots before, knock, quick intro, camera rolling. For me, it wasn't about the performance. I needed a clean recording, something that showed exactly what she was doing while thinking I was at home. On Christmas Eve, the timing lined up perfectly. Chloe left the apartment dressed like she was attending a date, not a dinner. The moment the elevator doors closed, I called the crew. "It's time, go," I said. They confirmed they were already nearby. Everything was set. I stayed on my couch, tree lights still blinking. No anger, just a decision. About 40 minutes later, the first video clip came in. They had followed the instructions precisely. They didn't go into Mark's house at all. They went to the nearby Airbnb Mark had rented, the same address he had texted her. They set up right outside the door with the cameras already rolling. Before they could even knock, the handle turned from the inside. Mark stepped out first, clearly startled, and Chloe appeared right behind him. From the hallway, the shot still caught the table set for two, the wine glasses, the candles, and the soft music playing in the background. One of the crew members, thinking they might be in the right unit, cheerfully called out, "Merry Christmas, surprise recording," the moment Mark opened the door. Mark stepped forward, trying to figure out who they were. Chloe didn't say a word. That was all it took. Mark froze immediately and Chloe went pale. He didn't even look at Chloe at first. He went straight into panic mode because he knew exactly what the footage meant. The crew froze halfway through their intro, realizing something was wrong. Chloe didn't move, she just kept whispering, "Please leave, please leave, please leave." A couple of neighbors peeked out because of the filming lights in the hallway. They were just curious at first, until they saw Mark step out, visibly panicked, with Chloe right behind him. A couple of them exchanged looks. In the footage, Mark kept stepping back and forth near the doorway, running his hand through his hair in panic. The cameras didn't need to capture anything private. Mark stepping out of the Airbnb with Chloe behind him was more than enough. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. "Mark." I let it ring twice before answering. His voice was shaky. "Lucas, did you send those people?" "Yes." Do you want money? Do you want me to explain? My wife she can't find out. I didn't respond immediately. I didn't say anything. He kept talking. He tried again, voice even weaker. "Please, just tell me what you want." "All I want," I said, "is the truth on record." He went silent. I could hear him breathing hard. "How, you're not going to post it, right?" he asked. "I don't need to," I said, "but I'm keeping it." He didn't argue. He knew exactly what that meant. He also knew I didn't yell, threaten, or make demands. Somehow that scared him more. I hung up, and that was the end of the conversation. 30 minutes later, I received the rest of the footage and backup copies. I watched everything from start to finish, not because I wanted to torture myself, but because I needed to understand the full situation before taking the next step. It's the same way I review surgical footage. You don't skip details, you don't make assumptions. By the time the last clip ended, I had everything I needed. No yelling, no fighting, no confrontation, just facts. Around midnight, Chloe came home. Her makeup was smeared, her dress wrinkled, and her hair looked like she'd been running her hands through it non-stop. She slammed the door behind her and immediately started blaming me, like her choices somehow became my fault. "What did you do?" she shouted. "Do you have any idea what you've caused? Do you know how insane that was?" I stayed seated. "I thought you were having Christmas dinner," I said. Her face twisted. "Stop pretending. You set me up. You humiliated me." I looked at her calmly. "You walked into it on your own." She grabbed her hair in frustration. "Do you even care what people will think?" "People saw it. There's nothing to twist." She had no response to that. She just stood there, breathing hard, realizing for the first time that she had no control over how the truth came out. That night wasn't about revenge. It was just about letting her see exactly what she was doing. After Chloe finished yelling, she locked herself in the bedroom. I didn't follow her. I stayed in the living room and watched the footage again, this time without pausing. Not because I wanted to relive anything, but because I needed to understand the whole picture before deciding what to do next. I wasn't even angry anymore. Once you see everything clearly, the decisions get very simple. While I was reviewing the last clip, my phone buzzed again. This time it was a text from one of the neighbors who knew Mark's wife. Apparently, someone had already told her there were camera people filming in their block earlier, and she had called Mark multiple times. He didn't pick up. I didn't answer the neighbor. I didn't owe anyone an explanation. An hour later, Mark called again. He didn't bother pretending to be calm this time. His voice cracked the second he spoke. "Lucas, please, can we talk?" "There's nothing to talk about," I replied. "You don't understand," he said. "My wife is going to come home early. If she finds out—" "She will find out," I said. "Maybe not from me, but she'll find out." He went silent. He knew I wasn't threatening him. I was stating a fact. He tried again. "What do you want from me?" "Nothing," I said. "I already have what I need." That scared him more than anything. Before he could continue, I ended the call. I didn't block him. I didn't respond. Letting him sit in that panic was enough. By 1 a.m., Chloe came out of the bedroom. She looked exhausted, hair messy, makeup smeared. She sat down across from me, not meeting my eyes. "What are you planning to do with that video?" she asked quietly. "Nothing," I said. She blinked, confused. "Nothing? Then why did you send them there?" "To see the truth, that's all." She swallowed hard, trying to make sense of my calmness. "So you're not going to post it? Or send it to anyone?" "I don't need to," I said. "It already happened. Whether people know or not doesn't change what you did." Her lip trembled. "Everyone saw the lights, the neighbors." She stopped talking. She knew the rumors were already spreading. Then she tried shifting the blame. "You should have asked me first. You should have talked to me." "I didn't need to," I said. "You already made your choice." She didn't argue after that. She sat there quietly, like she didn't recognize the version of me sitting across from her. I wasn't shouting or demanding answers. I wasn't begging for an explanation. I was done. Around noon the next day, I got another call from Mark's number. This time I didn't pick up. Let him deal with the consequences in his own house. I wasn't responsible for anything he chose to do with his marriage. That afternoon, Chloe tried one last approach. She brought me coffee, sat down next to me and tried to soften her voice. "Can we fix this?" she asked. "No," I said. She stared at me like she expected something else, maybe a discussion or conditions or a compromise. She didn't understand that once the line was crossed, there was nothing to negotiate. "You're really choosing to end it?" she whispered. "I'm choosing reality," I replied. She didn't cry loudly. She just wiped her face with her sleeve and nodded. She knew it was over. By evening, her family started calling her because the neighbors had already shared their own version of events. I didn't join the conversation. I wasn't going to defend her or explain anything for her. She walked herself into this. Meanwhile, Mark's household wasn't doing any better. I wasn't there, but based on his non-stop calls and texts, things were falling apart fast. His wife wasn't stupid, and the neighbors weren't subtle. People talk, especially when they saw cameras. By the end of the night, everything was already collapsing for both of them. And for me, the decision was made. Just a clean cut, the same way I make hard decisions in the operating room. In surgery, when something is damaged beyond fixing, you take it out. Same idea. That was the turning point. There was nothing left to save. The next morning, everything was quiet. No yelling, no more questions. It was quiet. We both knew why. Chloe walked into the living room with a small suitcase. She didn't try to negotiate anymore. She didn't ask me to reconsider. She just looked tired. "Can I at least see the video?" she asked. I handed her my phone. She watched the entire clip without saying a word. No excuses, no denial, nothing. When the video ended, she closed her eyes for a moment, then gave the phone back. "It looks bad," she said. "It is bad," I replied. She didn't argue with that. She stood there quietly, wiping her face with the sleeve of her sweater. Then she said the only honest sentence she'd given me in months. "I'm sorry." I nodded. "I know. Sorry didn't change anything, though. Trust doesn't regenerate. It's not a muscle. Once it's gone, that's it." I told her, in surgery, when a part of the tissue is dead, you don't leave it there. You remove it before it infects everything else. I wasn't trying to sound wise. It was just the simplest explanation I had. "This marriage isn't healthy anymore," I added. "We both know it." She didn't fight it. She didn't scream or throw things. Maybe she expected a different reaction from me, anger, guilt, something emotional, but I didn't have any of that left. She picked up her suitcase. "Do you want me to leave tonight?" she asked. "Today," I said. "The sooner the better." She nodded once and walked out of the apartment without looking back. After she left, I sat on the couch and felt something lift. The divorce process was fast. No fights, no lawyers tearing each other apart. She signed everything without arguing. I didn't ask for anything from her. and she didn't ask for anything from me. As for Mark, I never sent the video to his wife. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to blow up another family. The recording was enough to keep him from trying anything stupid. He knew I had it. That alone kept him quiet. A year later, during a medical conference, I met a colleague I'd only spoken to online before. We sat together during a break, talking about cases, burnout, and random things that made the job easier or harder. At one point, she smiled and asked, "Do you want to grab coffee after this? There's a good place across the street." For the first time in a long while, the question didn't feel complicated. "Yeah," I said. "Coffee sounds good." It felt simple. That was fine with me.